The tiger, Panthera tigris, is the largest living cat species and a member of the genus Panthera. It is most recognizable for its dark vertical stripes on orange fur with a white underside. An apex predator, it primarily preys on ungulates, such as deer and wild boar. Tiger cubs stay with their mother for about 2 years and then become independent, leaving their mother's home range to establish their own. Tigers live alone and move chiefly at night. If there are large animals to feed on, then they make a kill about twice a week, but they have to kill more often if only small animals are available. They prefer deer, wild pigs, and wild oxen, but will also eat all kinds of mammals, birds, reptiles, and fish. In this video, we will talk about top 10 tigers attack incredible moments, so we discuss one by one. In number 1, tiger versus lion. The hypothetical scenario of a tiger versus lion fight has long been a subject of fascination and speculation. While it is important to remember that such fights rarely occur in the wild as tigers and lions inhabit different regions, here is an overview based on their known characteristics. Size and strength. Both tigers and lions are large, powerful big cats. Tigers are generally larger and heavier than lions. Temperament and behavior, tigers are generally more solitary and territorial compared to lions. They are known to be stealthy and less inclined towards social interactions. Lions, being more social animals, tend to exhibit stronger bonds within their prides and are accustomed to defending their territories against other lions. In number 2, tiger versus deer. In the natural world, tigers and deer do not engage in fights or direct confrontations. Tigers are apex predators that primarily hunt and prey on ungulates like deer, while deer are herbivores adapted for flight and evasion from predators. However, let's consider a hypothetical scenario of a tiger versus deer confrontation. Hunting strategy. Predatory instincts. Tigers possess sharp claws and powerful jaws, which they use to immobilize and kill their prey. They can run at high speeds and change direction quickly, utilizing their nimbleness and ability to navigate through diverse terrain to escape. In number 3, tiger versus wild boar. When considering a hypothetical tiger versus wild boar fight, it's important to remember that tigers are predators adapted for hunting and overpowering large prey, while wild boars are size and strength. Tigers are larger and heavier than wild boars. Adult male tigers can weigh between 400 to 700 pounds. 180 to 320 kilograms, while wild boars typically weigh between 130 to 300 pounds. Their tusks can inflict serious injuries, and they are capable of defending themselves fiercely against predators. They have a strong build and a protective shield of bristles, making it challenging for predators to land a successful attack. In number 4, tiger versus tiger. It is important to note that tigers are solitary animals and typically avoid confrontations with other tigers. However, in the rare event of a territorial dispute or a confrontation between two tigers, here is an overview of what might occur. When two adult tigers come face to face, a variety of factors come into play that can. These factors include the size, age, health, and fighting experience of each tiger, as well as the purpose of the encounter. For example, postures, such as raising their fur, baring their teeth, growling, and making loud roars to intimidate their opponent. Larger and more experienced tigers may have an advantage, but there is no guarantee of victory. In many cases, tigers will assess each other's strength and aggression levels before backing down or retreating from the confrontation. In number 5, tiger versus cow. Tigers are apex predators, and cows are domesticated herbivores. In natural circumstances, tigers and cows would not come into direct conflict with each other, as their habitats and behaviors are distinct. However, if we were to hypothetically consider a tiger versus cow confrontation, here is a general overview. Size and strength. Predatory nature. Tigers are carnivores and have evolved to be proficient hunters. Cows, on the other hand, are herbivores and lack the natural defenses or aggression typically associated with predators. Territorial behavior. Cows do not possess natural defenses against predators, relying more on their ability to sense and evade potential dangers. In number 6, tiger versus leopard. When considering a hypothetical tiger versus leopard fight, it's important to remember that both animals are highly skilled predators with their own unique adaptations. However, it's important to note that such fights rarely occur in the wild, as tigers and leopards occupy size and strength. Tigers are significantly larger and more powerful than leopards. Tigers have a clear advantage in terms of size and strength. They are excellent climbers, capable of hauling their prey up into trees to protect it from other predators. Tigers are more adapted to a specific habitat and have a greater emphasis on ground-based hunting. In number 7, tiger versus bear. A hypothetical fight between a tiger and a bear is a subject of curiosity, as both animals are powerful and formidable in their own right. However, it is crucial to remember that such confrontations are extremely rare in the natural world, as tigers and bears inhabit different habitats and generally avoid direct conflicts. Nonetheless, let's consider their characteristics: size and strength. Tigers are solitary and generally avoid conflicts with other predators. They have a highly territorial nature and may resort to aggression if their territory or youth are threatened. They have a reputation for being capable of withstanding and retaliating against attack. In number 8, tiger versus antelope. In a hypothetical confrontation between a tiger and an antelope, several factors would come into play. However, it's important to note that such fights are relatively rare in the natural world, as tigers generally target ungulates like deer, boar, and smaller prey. Antelopes, as agile herbivores, possess adaptations that allow them to evade predators. Here's an overview. Size and strength. Tigers are powerful predators, while antelopes are swift and agile herbivores. Adult male tigers can weigh between 400 to 700 pounds. Antelopes, on the other hand, rely on their incredible speed, agility, and acute senses to detect and evade predators, outrun potential threats. Their primary defense strategy is to outrun the predator and rely on their herding behavior to confuse and deter attackers. In number 9, tiger versus crocodile. A hypothetical fight between a tiger and a crocodile is an interesting scenario to consider, as both animals are highly adapted predators in their respective domains. However, it's important to note that such confrontations are rare in the wild, as tigers and crocodiles generally inhabit different habitats and have different hunting strategies. Hunting techniques. Tigers are known for their stealth, agility, and ability to take down large prey. Crocodiles are ambush predators, primarily make them highly efficient hunters on land. Crocodiles, on the other hand, have adapted to aquatic habitats, which they use as a primary defense mechanism. They can inflict severe injuries on potential threats. In number 10, tiger versus buffalo. In a hypothetical confrontation between a tiger and a buffalo, several factors would come into play. However, it's important to note that such fights are relatively rare and occur only in exceptional circumstances, as tigers are herd animals with a strong social structure that allows them to defend themselves by forming a united front and using their size and horns to deter predators. This defense mechanism makes it challenging for a tiger to overcome a buffalo without incurring significant injuries.